You were the strong one, the calm one, the responsible one, the one who didn't cry. When things got chaotic, you got quiet. When others panicked, you stabilized. And no one ever asked if you were okay. But here's what nobody tells you. Being the strong one doesn't disappear when childhood ends. It rewires you. And what protected you back then might be limiting you now. You didn't choose this role. No one sat you down and said, from now on, you're the stable one. It just happened. Maybe your parents were overwhelmed. Maybe one of them was emotionally unpredictable. Maybe your house felt tense more often than it felt safe. So you adapted. You became low maintenance, helpful, independent. You learned how to read the room before you learned long division. And slowly, strength stopped being something you did. It became who you were. Picture this. You're 8 or 9 years old. There's tension in the house. A door closes too hard. Voices rise in another room. You're not crying. You're listening, scanning, calculating. What do I say? What do I avoid? How do I make this easier? Maybe there was a day you were sick, but you didn't say much because someone else already needed more attention. Maybe there was a birthday that didn't feel joyful, and you told yourself, it's fine. Maybe you remember sitting alone in your room, telling yourself you just had to be strong. And in one of those moments, you made a silent decision. If I don't hold this together, no one will. That decision didn't just shape your behavior, it shaped your nervous system. There's a word for this: parentification. It happens when a child takes on emotional or practical responsibilities meant for adults. But here's the part most people miss. The strong child doesn't just help, they internalize a belief. My value comes from being useful. And that belief follows you into adulthood. Your brain builds associations. Responsibility equals safety. Control equals stability. Emotions equal risk. From the outside, you looked mature. From the inside, you were on alert. And here's the trap. Being strong worked. You got praise. You're so mature for your age. You're so easy. I don't have to worry about you. Your brain loves reinforcement. Every time you suppressed emotion and kept things steady, your nervous system got a signal. This keeps us safe. So the pattern deepened. You weren't pretending to be strong. You were wiring yourself to be. And wiring doesn't disappear just because you grow up. The strong child doesn't stop needing comfort. They just learn to survive without it. Now you're older. People describe you as independent, reliable, the rock. You're the one friends call during crises, the one coworkers rely on, the one family members lean on. But you struggle to ask for help, not because you don't need it, but because somewhere deep down, needing feels unsafe. If support wasn't consistently available early on, your nervous system learned one rule: depend on yourself, always, even when you don't have to anymore. In relationships, this can get complicated. You might attract people who need fixing. You might overfunction emotionally. You might feel uncomfortable when someone tries to take care of you because receiving care feels unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. Intimacy requires vulnerability, but vulnerability feels like loss of control. So you stay composed, even when you're overwhelmed, even when you're exhausted, because breaking was never an option. You became everyone's anchor, but anchors don't get to float. There's something most strong ones never admit. You're afraid if you fully relax, everything might collapse, even if that's not true anymore. Even if your environment is stable, your body still carries an old belief. If I let go, something bad happens. That belief might show up as difficulty resting, guilt when you say no, anxiety when things feel too calm, because calm used to mean something was about to explode. This pattern shows up in your career too. You overperform, you take on extra responsibilities, you don't complain. Not because you love stress, but because your brain equates usefulness with security. If I'm valuable, I'm safe. And if you're not useful, your nervous system feels exposed. You learn to earn love through strength, not receive it through softness. Here's the deeper question. Who are you when you're not the strong one? If you're not solving, stabilizing, holding everything together, who are you? For many people who carried this role, that question feels destabilizing because your identity fused with your coping strategy. You didn't just become strong, you became necessary. And being necessary feels safer than being vulnerable. But here's the shift. Your strength was intelligent. It was adaptive. It was brilliant. It kept you safe in an environment that required adaptation. The problem isn't that you became strong. The problem is that your nervous system never updated the rules. You're still playing defense in a game that's no longer dangerous. Strength kept you alive, but it was never meant to be your cage. Adulthood gives you something childhood didn't: choice. You can still be dependable without being silent. You can still be strong without being alone. You can let someone help, and the world won't collapse. You can say, "I'm not okay," and still be worthy. In almost every family, there's one pillar: quiet, steady, invisible. But even pillars need foundations. You were the strong one. Maybe now, you get to be human too.